Hey bird watchers, today I'm diving into Contentful to look at all of the cool content ops we can orchestrate using Blackbird. Now, we already have a great Contentful demo video available. I'm going to rehash some of the elements covered there, but I'm going to encourage you to still check that one out for more insights after you watch this one. In this demo, we have a pretty stacked agenda. We'll start off with talking about the power of tag triggers from Contentful to Blackbird. Then we'll do some quick machine translation and generative AI review of that content. From there, I'll pull a bit of a Tarantino. I'm going to rewind and show you how easily I built my bird with a blueprint. After that, we're going to see how content can flow from Contentful to a translation management system so we can have a human in the loop. And yes, I know that's a lot going on, so I promise we'll take a quick coffee break midway through. Unlike traditional CMS platforms that tightly couple content with how it's displayed, Contentful is API first and headless. That means you manage the content there once, and then you can deliver it anywhere. That means websites, apps, digital signage, you name it, without having to rebuild it for each channel. But that can make content ops a little tricky. And enter Blackbird to save the day. In Blackbird, we can trigger content to be pulled from Contentful in quite a few ways. We're going to focus in on tags for this demo. Heading back to Contentful, we can see we have some content here that we want to translate into German. Here you can see we have several different tags we can use to trigger different types of Blackbird workflows. We'll have a separate demo on some best practices of using Contentful tags with Blackbird, but for now we'll focus on triggering a translation workflow with a tag right here. So here in Blackbird, we'll get the trigger, get the content, and then send it for machine translation. And don't worry, we'll take care of the interoperability. Here we have DeepL selected as our machine translation engine, but this can be interchanged with any of our supported MT apps, such as any of these, or even leverage an LLM for translation. Speaking of LLMs, same goes for this automatic post-editing step. We're using OpenAI, but we could swap that out for Claude, Gemini, Mistral, and many more. After that step, we'll send the content back to Contentful. I'll update only the German version here, but with a few tweaks of this workflow, we could do all of the site languages at once. Okay, we can kickstart this process by tagging as ready for localization and then publishing the content. We can check on the flight as it's going, seeing in real time as it's passing content through the different apps. No complicated file conversion steps or manual prepping of content. Just a smooth flow of content through the process. Back in Contentful, we can see our German translation has flowed back with no issues. Okay, halfway there, so now it's time for a coffee break. So when we started, I already had a bird built for this. Building it from scratch only took me a few minutes, but you could build it in a few seconds using blueprints. Blueprints are carefully architected use cases that allows you to connect up apps to solve specific content operations. We continue to add new blueprints to Blackbird, but the one I used was this one right here. We just need to select the apps we want to use. And voila, the bird is built instantly. We just need to make a few changes here, such as selecting the languages, or selecting any of the models in the LLMs we're using. But there you have it, a production-ready bird in under a minute. Now it's time to show a localization process that involves a translation management system and a human in the loop. Let's set our tag and publish our content again. This time, we're creating a project in memoQ, downloading the content from Contentful, uploading the content to memoQ, downloading a glossary, sending the content to DeepL, and passing the content and glossary to Gemini for an automatic post-editing. The post-edited content is uploaded back to memoQ, and now we wait. Using this checkpoint, we can now have a human review the content in memoQ, and once ready, continue our workflow. This was the project we created in memoQ. And we can see that over in memoQ here. This is our emptied and post-edited content. We can go through it and make any needed changes. When ready, we can confirm our segments. And then wrap up our project. Back in Blackbird, this will trigger the checkpoint step. Which will download the human reviewed files from memoQ and upload them back into Contentful. And we can see the content has been translated into German and added back into Contentful. And similar to MT and AI tools, we have a plethora of CAT and TMS tools you could use here. In fact, there's a Contentful blueprint that blends Jira, Phrase, and your MT tool of choice. Where you can use Jira as part of your decision-making process to route content to either MT only or to a project in Phrase. As you can see, your content possibilities are endless with Contentful and Blackbird. And that will do it for this demo, but don't fret, there will be plenty more. With almost 200 apps in our ecosystem, Blackbird is the new language infrastructure, where content operation workflows are limitless. Learn more at blackbird.io and keep your eyes to the skies for more awesome stuff coming soon.